So we're just on the start of the Winnats Pass, as you can see behind me. This is the path Clara and Alan would have took, coming from Castleton behind us, heading up this path behind me, what you can see now, which is the Winnats Pass, heading looking for the church, the chapel where they would have eventually got married. But this is where they was. This is where they were robbed and murdered on this pass. We're going to head up through the Winnats Pass. On the left-hand side, there's a place called a suicide cave, where a couple once went in there to kill themselves to show the love for each other. And since then, as it says, it is a suicide cave, and people have been in there to kill themselves. Just for the sake of it, really. It's nothing to do with it, but on the top of the mountain there you can see 5 figures stood up there. It's a bit creepy because there's the 5 miners what killed Clara and Alan on the Winnats Pass, and these 5 figures looking down at us. Just a bit weird. Yeah. So we're just about to head down to what's known as the suicide cave, and if you can look all around us here, this area are limestone cliffs, and this would have been part of a coral reef when this part of England would have been underwater 330 million years ago. That's how far back this area of Castleton goes. Which way the suicide has come, we don't know. It happened in the 1930s, and we're just going to make our way down into the suicide cave now. It's a bit steep and a bit craggy, but this is the entrance to the suicide cave. The first couple what come here was in the 1930s, for reasons unknown. They just, a man and a woman just come into this cave and took their own lives, and we don't know the reason. And since then, quite a few people have made their way up to this cave and took their own lives. We don't know the reason why they do it. It's just has a plaque on the wall here saying the Horseshoe Cave, or better known as the Suicide Cave. It's part of the National Trust, and it just says that 330 million years ago, when Britain was close to the equator, Winnats Pass was a channel within this reef. So this would have been all under seawater. This would have been a coral reef, believe it or not. Could I ask the couple who committed suicide, the first couple, could you come through and tell me your name, please? Man and woman? Who are the other people what have committed suicide in this cave? Flat, isn't it? Try outside, you think? Can anyone communicate with us? Who died in this cave? What? What was that?
Like a sheet of mist flew across the camera.
Did it?
Yeah, it's white. It's like it comes right past the start or something.
Did someone just walk past us in the form of a mist? Can I ask for the spirits of any people what have took their lives in here, please? Did you? Is there anybody here? Can you copy my whistle? got a grey box in front of me with a light on. Can you light it up, please? Try and light it up. Let us know that you're here.
All you got to do is walk over to the box or touch it.
Can the couple who killed themselves please come over to the box? Let us know you're here.
There's something like that.
Yeah. I know it's a cave, it's probably drips, but you don't know, do you?
It sounded like a breath, an out breath. You know, just something like...
Yeah. Right, so we've had a bit of a walk round here. This is the Winnats Pass. This is where Clara and Alan would have been coming through. And we think if we was a miners thinking out like a miner, this would be the perfect vantage point to actually attack and mug them. If you look, Clara and Alan would have come to my right, and that's the way they would have come from after spending the night at the inn. They were on horseback, don't forget. So they'd be coming up this way, and where we are now is where probably the miners would have waited in here for him. If you crouch down in this position there, you wouldn't be able to see me from down there, and Clara and Alan would have been heading to my left on the horses through the pass. We think maybe this is where the miners were, and they come down the pass and headed them off here and attacked them there. That's where we think they could have jumped out on them. Also, they were taken when they got hold of them and took them off their horses. They were taken to an old barn first when they mugged them, took the money off them, and then decided what to do with them. And we can see a couple of old barns down there to my right, if you can see it. There's some old buildings to the right down there with no roofs on. That could have been one of the points that the miners took Clara and Alan to, because history has it that they took them to a barn first, took the money off them, decided what to do with them there, and that's where they killed them, in an old barn. So that could have been to my right there, going back towards where you can see the old farm. There's a farmhouse there, down there, and an outhouse building. That could have been the point. We're going to go down there in a bit just to have a look, and we'll call out with the spirit box down there. So we're just going to do a bit of a call out now, see if we can pick up any spirits connected to this area, please. Anyone wants to come through? Are the spirits of Clara and Alan still walking this path? Are the spirits of the miners still on this mountain, waiting for Clara and Alan to pass? Could you come forward and tell us your name, please? Is there anybody from the suicide caves want to come and speak to us now we've come out the cave? Would you like to tell us your name, why you did it? Who was that? Was that a lady then? So tell us why you did it. Did you walk this way to the suicide cave? Clara, are you here? Alan, your spirits are supposed to still walk this path. Can you tell me if you're here with us today, please? Really like to make contact with you if you could. Clara and Alan's spirit still here walking this path. Who attacked you, Clara? Could you tell me the name of the inn that you stayed at? Can you tell us the name of the inn you stayed at, please? That sounded like you said death then. Could you tell us what death you got? Did you die here? Am I in contact with Clara or Alan? I'm in contact with any of the miners. Want to clear your conscience? You didn't benefit from the money you stole. I think you were cursed after you'd done the robbery and murder. Time to come and clear your conscience. You lived with that for a long time. This pass hasn't changed much since you was last there. Could you clear your conscience? Are we in the right spot where you hid out? Where? Did you say where then? We're on Winnats Pass. Was it called Winnats Pass when you was alive? Is that Clara? Is that Clara? Right, we've just come off Winnats Pass, and the legend has it that when the robbers got Clara and Alan, they didn't actually rob them on the pass or kill them on the pass, just in case they were seen. So they took them to the nearest place available, and that was an old barn. Now we've just come off the pass, maybe by about 250 yards, maybe 300 yards off the pass, and we found this old building behind me to my left, and that looks like one of the oldest buildings around here really. It could have been, we're not saying it was a barn, but we're saying it could have been, because off the pass they didn't have far to take them to where they decided what they were going to do with them after they robbed them. So looking at that, I'd say that's well over 200 year old, that barn there. If you take away the roof, not the corrugated iron on the roof, it'd have been maybe a thatched roof or something, slate roof. But if, in the eyes of the muggers, if I'd got somebody here with me who wanted to mug and take them off the path, I'd take them this way, and that'd be the nearest point of interest to hold them in till they decided what to do with them. It's a nice voice. Is that Clara? Did you say hello to me, Clara? Hello.
So I've just come away from my dad now, found a little spot on my own, and I'm just going to do a call out and see what I get. All you've got to do is communicate through this, and I'll be able to hear you. Can you say hello? Can you tell me your first name, please? Now that sounded like someone saying hello, but it sounded like it was echoing as if it was in a cave. That was weird. You connected to the murder on Winnats Pass? Yeah, what was that? That was weird. It was like it said no, like that. Well, nice. Can't do a ghost hunt without a bag of Cheetos. Stuff for legends, these. Really weird that, because it would come. I've not had any voices really at all, especially come through as clear as that. And it sounded like it was in a cave. That is weird. I mean, to get a voice come through is weird, as clear as that. But the cave is like the echoey sound is a connection to this place. Because the Speedwell Caverns are down there, and there was a guy that went and did. He went in like these little holes that you can just go in. These little, I don't know what they're called off the top of my head, and they link into caves and stuff. And he got stuck, and they couldn't get him out. And they tried everything. They tried for days to get him out, and they were sending supplies down so he didn't die, with food and water, probably a bag of Cheetos actually as well. But he died, and then they had to fill the hole in with cement in the end. He died, and they had to cap it off, and they poured cement in, and like he's knocking about here somewhere. It might have been him. Imagine that. What an horrible way to go. You're stuck in an hole in Castleton and someone tips all the cement on your head.
This is the church of St Edmunds, where Clara and Alan were brought when the bodies were found, and they were buried in this churchyard. We've had a look round, we can't find any of the graves, but what we have found is a lot of descendants of the murderers. The names are buried here, the families are buried here. So these would have been, it's only a small place, Castleton. So the descendants who murdered Clara and Alan are actually buried in here, if not the murderers themselves.